Here's one for you. Take out your watch and look at the time. Then I want you to bring the watch face closer up until you are no longer able to keep it in focus. How close were you able to bring that watch without the numbers blurring? For me, this number is 11 centimeters or 4.3 inches. But what if I told you I could guess your age depending on how close you were able to bring your watch? Don't believe me? Here's the proof. This is a graph that shows what happens to our eyes as we get older. The y-axis shows how close you were able to bring the watch face, and the x-axis shows us celebrating more birthdays. My result was 11 centimeters, so that would place me right here. But 20 years from now, I would be here. This means that in my late 40s, for me to see things clearly on my watch, my wrist will need to be held at 30 centimeters instead. In my mid-50s, anything closer than a meter will not be clear. I know a large portion of my viewers are aged between 18 to 35, which means that most of you will not have any idea what I'm talking about. But 20, 30, 40 years from now, we will run into the same problems as previous generations, so it pays to know what's coming. As we get older, we will start seeing things differently. And this is literal. Things that used to be clear aren't going to be clear anymore, and it catches a lot of people by surprise. So in this video, I wanted to explain what is happening to the human eye as we get into our 40s, 50s, and 60s, as I provide some real-life examples of what to expect and some remedies that you might find helpful. The simulation I've prepared for you is of presbyopia,
a condition in which someone finds it difficult to focus the eyes on things that are near, especially when there is not much light, which usually gets worse with age.
As we age, so do our eyes, and we'll see how this impacts our day-to-day activities. The older our eyes get, the crystalline lens becomes thicker and less flexible, making it more difficult to bend. From childbirth to the mid-40s, we are free of presbyopia. Reading street signs on the road and text messages on our phone are very easy things to do. To demonstrate this, I went to an optometry clinic where the chart in the mirror is positioned at 6 meters and down below is a near chart positioned at 35 centimeters. Notice how the focus is changing from distance to near. As the ciliary muscles contract, the zonules loosen and the lens thickens, giving clear near vision. No problems. Once you reach level 45, however, you will start to notice some changes. In particular, small writing will become more difficult to read, and this is because your eyes cannot accommodate as well as before. I made this comparison to help you understand this a little easier. I have a sponge that softens when you soak it in hot water. Think of the soft sponge as a young crystalline lens, and the hard sponge as a presbyopic lens. When it's soft, I don't have to put too much effort into squeezing it. But when it's not, more effort is required, which in the eye can lead to eye strain. If we look at the chart from earlier, 45 is the age at which things within our arm's length are affected, like our phone. Enlarging the font on your messages is the most common way people mitigate this difficulty. Presbyopia unfortunately continues to worsen well into our 50s, making reading almost impossible. Important documents, your smartphone, and even the food in front of you will start to appear blurry. I get asked countless times whether laser surgery can correct presbyopia. And to that, I would say laser surgery will not magically restore our accommodation because the problem is the lens and not the cornea. But even surgeries that do attempt to restore accommodation will never be as good as the real thing. Newer interventions include refractive lens exchange using extended depth of focus or modified monovision. There is still, however, no effective solution in fully restoring accommodation. Unfortunately, the technology isn't there yet. After 65, presbyopia reaches its maximum and there is very little accommodation left to lose. Threading a needle, reading food labels and medication instructions seem impossible without a pair of reading glasses. The way that most people alleviate the blurriness when reading is through glasses, contacts, and/or surgery. Although none of these options are perfect and mostly fail to meet the expectations of those that demand the perfect solution, it is the best we have, and I'm sure in 20-30 years time there will be better answers available. There have also been eye drops made to forcibly constrict the iris so that our depth of focus becomes wider. This might substitute the need for glasses or contact lenses, but the drops last around 9 hours and require an ongoing prescription. Next, we're at the library. I wanted to use this footage to show you how the eyes accommodate and relax. In case you were wondering how I am filming this, I've connected my camera to a gimbal with a focus motor that helps me control the focal point. I've been trying to deliver the highest qualities possible for you guys, and if you appreciate the work that I do, then feel free to subscribe and help me on the goal to 100,000 subscribers. If you do, you'd be a legend. You'll notice that the distance vision is unaffected during presbyopia. It's only the act of bringing the focus closer that becomes more difficult. If we compare this to our younger selves, we can see that there is a marked difference in the clarity of the images. Another question that I get asked often is, will using reading glasses worsen this condition? And the answer is, glasses will not accelerate or decelerate the condition because the hardening of the lens will happen inevitably, and glasses are usually designed to stop the eyes from overworking, which can lead to eye strain. A great workaround to presbyopia is to simply go outdoors. The amount of light available will naturally constrict the iris, leading to natural extended depth of focus. This is the same shot but filmed outdoors. I've narrowed the aperture like what the iris would in a real-life setting, and we can see that the images are a lot clearer despite not changing anything but the location. The life hack is good lighting equals good vision. Indoors, particularly in poorly lit environments like a restaurant or a cinema, our pupils will widen, leading to more blur. Some presbyopes may not even have to use reading glasses if they spend most of their time outdoors in good lighting. I made this video because I speak to a lot of people that have had perfect vision all of their life, have no difficulties reading and spotting details. But as soon as they reach their mid-40s, they struggle to do simple tasks like reading messages on a phone or read the menu at a restaurant. Presbyopia is an aging process that no one is immune to, and I know it's coming for me as well. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have in the comment section below, but for now, if you've learned something new or at least found something useful, then yay, thumbs up to you. If you want to thumbs up back, then they'll be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.